Hi. I'm Don Lloyd, author of Your Motivation Blueprint, Unleashing the Inner Drive for Success, a book about how to change your thinking. Today, I'm diving into the world of motivation and sharing some of my top tips for unlocking your own inner drive. We all have goals and dreams we want to achieve, but sometimes it can be hard to find the motivation to actually make progress towards them. Are you struggling to find the motivation to achieve your goals? I've been there, trust me. I used to have this overwhelming feeling of being stuck, like I was just floating through life without any real direction. It's not a pleasant feeling, but you don't have to stay stuck. People struggle with motivation at different points in their lives. It's not uncommon to find yourself in a state of low motivation, feeling stuck, and unable to move forward. For me, this struggle started in college when I found it challenging to balance my academic work, extracurricular activities, and personal life. I would often find myself overwhelmed, lacking the motivation to tackle even the simplest of tasks. However, I refused to give up and decided to take charge of my motivation. I began by analyzing my habits and identifying the things that were holding me back. I realized that my lack of motivation was linked to my negative self-talk, perfectionism, and fear of failure. I was constantly berating myself for not being good enough and setting unrealistic expectations, which led to feelings of anxiety and stress. To overcome these obstacles, I began to practice self-compassion and positive affirmations. I learned to recognize and challenge my negative thoughts, and replace them with positive ones. I also started to set small, achievable goals for myself, celebrating every little win along the way. This approach helped me to build momentum and gradually increase my motivation and productivity. Over time, I also realized the importance of finding purpose and meaning in what I was doing. When I connected my goals to something that was deeply important to me, I found myself more motivated and engaged. I also learned to focus on progress rather than perfection, embracing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow. Through my personal struggle with motivation, I learned that it's not a fixed trait, but rather a skill that can be developed and strengthened. It takes effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to experiment and try new things. With the right mindset, strategies, and support, anyone can learn to overcome obstacles and stay motivated in pursuit of their goals. Thank you for checking out my new book, Your Motivation Blueprint, Unleashing the Inner Drive for Success. I am excited to share with you the insights and strategies I have gathered through years of research and experience to help you unlock your inner drive and achieve success. Motivation is the fuel that drives us towards our goals, yet it can be elusive and fleeting at times. In this book, I will provide you with a blueprint to help you tap into your internal sources of motivation, and use them to create the life you desire. Through a combination of personal anecdotes, scientific research, and practical exercises, I will guide you on a journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. You will learn how to identify your core values and passions, and how to align them with your goals to create a sense of purpose and direction in your life. I will also delve into the science of motivation, exploring the factors that influence our drive and how we can use this knowledge to create a personalized motivation plan that works for us. Whether you are looking to improve your productivity, achieve your goals, or simply find more joy and fulfillment in your daily life, your motivation blueprint will provide you with the tools and strategies you need to succeed. Welcome aboard. Get ready for a great ride. Chapter 1: Why is motivation important? Motivation is an essential factor for achieving success and accomplishing goals. It can be defined as the driving force behind a person's actions or behavior. Without motivation, it can be challenging to stay focused and dedicated to achieving our aspirations. Therefore, it is crucial to understand why motivation is essential and how it can affect our lives. Motivation can lead to increased productivity, improved performance, and a sense of accomplishment. When we are motivated, we tend to be more focused and efficient in our work, which can lead to better results. Motivation can also provide a sense of purpose and direction, helping us to make progress towards our goals. On the other hand, a lack of motivation can have negative consequences. It can lead to procrastination, decreased productivity, and feelings of frustration or hopelessness. Without motivation, it can be challenging to overcome obstacles and achieve success. Motivation can also impact our mental and emotional well-being. When we are motivated, we tend to feel more positive and optimistic about our lives and the future. Motivation can help us to maintain a healthy balance between our personal and professional lives, leading to a greater sense of fulfillment and happiness. And, did you know that motivation is vital for personal growth and development? It can help us to explore new opportunities, learn new skills, and expand our horizons. With motivation, we can push ourselves to become the best versions of ourselves, and this can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. In conclusion, motivation is crucial for achieving success, personal growth, and overall well-being. It provides the driving force behind our actions and behavior, leading to increased productivity, improved performance, and a sense of accomplishment. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate and maintain motivation in our lives, so we can continue to strive towards our goals and aspirations. Now, let's take a look at motivation and unlocking the power within. The truth is, motivation isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one person may not work for another. That's why I wrote this book, to share with you some tips and tricks that have helped me and others unlock our own motivation. But before we dive into all of that, let's talk about what motivation really is. At its core, motivation is simply the desire or drive to do something. It's what propels us forward towards our goals and helps us achieve the things we want in life. Without motivation, it's easy to get stuck in a rut and feel like we're not making any progress. So, why is it so hard to find motivation sometimes? Well, there are a lot of factors that can impact our motivation levels. Things like stress, anxiety, and even lack of sleep can all contribute to feelings of low motivation. But the good news is that there are strategies we can use to boost our motivation and overcome these obstacles. In this post, we'll explore some of these strategies. From setting effective goals to finding your own unique sources of motivation, we'll cover a variety of techniques that can help you unlock your own motivation and achieve your goals. So, are you ready to take the first step towards a more motivated life? Let's jump into Chapter 2, entitled, Understanding Motivation: Unlocking the Power Within. Motivation is an incredibly powerful force that drives us towards our goals and helps us achieve success in our personal and professional lives. But despite its importance, many people still struggle to understand what motivation really is and how it works. In this essay, I'll be exploring the definition of motivation, the different types of motivation, the science behind motivation, and the common myths surrounding this fascinating topic. Point number 1, the definition of motivation. At its core, motivation is simply the driving force behind our actions. It's what makes us get out of bed in the morning, tackle that difficult project at work, or push ourselves to run that extra mile during our workout. But motivation isn't just about the end result, it's about the journey towards that result as well. It's the sense of purpose and direction that guides us towards our goals, even when the path isn't always clear. Point number 2, the types of motivation. There are two main types of motivation: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation comes from within ourselves. It's the internal drive that comes from doing something because we find it personally fulfilling or enjoyable. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from external factors such as rewards, recognition, or fear of punishment. While both types of motivation can be powerful, research has shown that intrinsic motivation is more likely to lead to long-term success and satisfaction. When we're motivated by our own internal desires and passions, we're more likely to stick with our goals even when things get tough. Point number 3, the science behind motivation. When it comes to motivation, there's a lot more going on than just a simple desire to achieve a goal. The science behind motivation is a complex interplay of neurochemicals, processes, and external factors that can all impact our levels of drive and determination. One key neurochemical involved in motivation is dopamine. This neurotransmitter is often associated with feelings of pleasure and reward, and is released when we achieve a goal or experience something positive. In essence, dopamine acts as a sort of carrot that our brains use to incentivize us to keep working towards our goals. Another important neurochemical involved in motivation is norepinephrine. This stress hormone helps us stay focused and alert during challenging situations, and can help us stay motivated even in the face of adversity. In other words, norepinephrine acts as a sort of stick that helps us push through difficult times and stay on track towards our goals. But it's not just our brains that influence our motivation. External factors can play a big role as well. For example, our environment can have a significant impact on our levels of motivation. A clean, well-organized workspace can help us feel more focused and energized, while a cluttered or chaotic environment can be a major distraction. Similarly, social support can be a huge motivator. Studies have shown that people are more likely to stick with a workout routine when they have a workout buddy or supportive coach. The sense of accountability and camaraderie that comes with having a partner or coach can help us stay motivated even when we're feeling tired or discouraged. Finally, the expectations of others can also play a role in our motivation levels. When we feel like we're being held accountable to others, whether it's our boss, our coworkers, or our friends and family, we're more likely to stay on track and work towards our goals. This is why public commitments like announcing a goal on social media can be so effective. They create a sense of external accountability that can help keep us motivated. In summary, motivation is a complex phenomenon that involves a variety of neurochemicals, processes, and external factors. By understanding the science behind motivation, we can better harness our own motivation and stay on track towards our goals. Whether it's finding a workout buddy, creating a clean and organized workspace, or simply announcing our goals to the world, there are many strategies we can use to boost our motivation and achieve our dreams. Now, let's address some common myths about motivation. As we delve into the realm of motivation, there are many commonly held beliefs that may not hold up to scientific scrutiny. Let us examine some of these purported myths and explore what science has to say about them. First, there is a widely held belief that money is the best motivator for employees. However, research has shown that while money can be an effective motivator for simple, routine tasks, it loses its effectiveness for more complex and creative work. In fact, autonomy, mastery, and purpose have been found to be more powerful drivers of motivation than financial incentives. Another common myth is that fear is a good motivator. While it may seem intuitive that fear of failure or punishment would push us to work harder, studies have shown that it can actually have the opposite effect. Fear can lead to anxiety, stress, and avoidance behavior, all of which can impede our motivation and performance. A third myth is that positive thinking alone can boost motivation and achievement. While it is certainly true that having a positive mindset can help us overcome setbacks and obstacles, it is not enough on its own to drive us to success. Action is still necessary, and a focus on concrete goals and strategies is more likely to lead to achievement than wishful thinking. One more myth worth exploring is the idea that motivation is solely a matter of individual willpower and effort. In reality, our motivation is heavily influenced by external factors such as our social networks, cultural values, and environmental cues. For example, studies have shown that people are more likely to engage in healthy behaviors like exercise when they are surrounded by others who also prioritize their health. In addition to these specific myths, there is also a more general misconception that motivation is a fixed, unchanging trait that some people simply have more of than others. However, motivation is actually a dynamic process that can fluctuate depending on a variety of factors. By understanding the science behind motivation and debunking these myths, we can take a more nuanced and effective approach to cultivating motivation in ourselves and others. Despite its importance, there are still a number of common myths and misconceptions surrounding motivation. One of the biggest is the idea that motivation is something that we either have or we don't. In reality, motivation is a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time with practice and persistence. Another common myth is that external rewards such as bonuses or promotions are the most effective way to motivate people. While these rewards can be effective in the short term, research has shown that intrinsic motivation is more likely to lead to long-term success and satisfaction. Understanding motivation is one key to unlocking our full potential and achieving our goals in life. Whether we're motivated by internal desires or external rewards, there are strategies and techniques we can use to cultivate and strengthen our motivation levels. By debunking common myths and tapping into the science behind motivation, we can unlock the power within ourselves and achieve our dreams. Next, we'll explore Chapter 3 entitled, Goal Setting: The Key to Achieving Success.